Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Field Trips. This morning I am in an area called Nishi-Izu, which is the west side of the Izu Peninsula. My original plan was to head up into some really dramatic alpine. That was canceled because of a typhoon, so instead I headed towards the coast. When I arrived here, it pretty much just kept raining off and on. I had a small window for about 10 minutes where I pulled the camera out, and I think I'm gonna head back to that spot this evening and test my luck. Well, unfortunately, it started raining quite a bit. It's a real heavy mist. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what it is. I guess the good news is there's a really nice breeze, so I think I'll just wait it out for a bit and just see if it clears up. It is supposed to clear up, so let's hope that happens. While I'm waiting out the weather, why don't we quickly go through what I'm packing in my Explorer 35 today. I have the large DSLR core unit inside, and let's just take a quick look at what gear I'm packing. So right off the bat, let's go into the laptop sleeve. I have a Filtrep 100. I've got a total of 5 filters in here. One's missing right here because it's actually on my camera. If we start at the top, we've got the DJI RC Pro remote. We've got a backup battery. We've got the Mavic 3 drone. We have the equivalent of a 70 to 200. Of course, we've got the Fuji X-T4 mounted with a 16 to 55. And because I knew I was coming down to the sea and I would want something wider, I brought my Sony A7 III, which has a 16 to 35 mounted to it. Now, if we quickly close this up, let's just pop into the top here. I have my Shimoda small accessory case. Today it's filled with a mix of GoPro, backup batteries, some tripod plates, remote controls. I also have these DJI mics, although all this audio is recorded on GoPro. In the front, I've got my trusty rain shell, which I don't really want to use today, but I might just have to. And then in the front pockets, I will have my phone in here when I'm actually hiking. And in my accessory pocket, I have a lens cap. I just threw this in there yesterday when I was shooting, and this accessory pocket is actually quite handy for lens caps. Later on, I will also have a larger tripod mounted to the side. I'm less than 1 minute into this hike and my feet are already soaked. So I think there's a fortunate little map here right away, but I am here and I think my objective is just to go to Nekodake. Take a look from there. Hopefully the sun comes out, which says it's about 75 minutes, so With a couple of photo stops, that's probably about right. I really have to say, I do love this kind of terrain. I love the color of the SAS, and I just love it when you're in a deep section of trail and you have a couple of walls on your side. With that said, my trail, where are you? Yeah, so you can see I am shoulder deep here. It's really dense back there. Glad I put this shell on even though it's not raining. Really wish I had a pair of pants on though. Well, as beautiful as it was in there, I had to pull the pin because it was so grown over that I was somewhat swimming through this stuff. I had my hood on, zipped all the way up, and you know, it was all over top of me and just a little bit too much for what I am interested in right now. But I found this road right here, and I'm not gonna explore too much on it, but I just thought I'd take a look and see what else is around here. I will head back up to kind of closer to where I started, because actually that part looked really nice, and even in this weather, pretty photogenic. It looks like the rain has come back, so I think it's time for me to head back to my van and kill the rest of the afternoon. Not sure what I'm gonna do. I kind of want to stay higher in elevation here because it is quite a bit cooler. At the same time, it is raining, and it's probably not raining down by the sea where it's quite hot and humid and sweaty. So either way, probably getting wet. Well, that's gonna wrap my session at Nishina Pass. Really don't want to head down to the sea right now because it's nice and cool. The breeze is perfect. But I should probably try and find an onsen and clean up a little bit. Not really sure why, but eating a lot of rice on this trip. All right, let's pack up and make a move. Well, as you may have noticed, the weather has done a complete 180, or I guess I just drove from a little higher up down to sea level. It is definitely a beach day now. I'm just gonna wait out the next couple of hours and get some relaxing time in. Well, we're finally on our way here. It is a very beautiful early evening. It's almost a little too beautiful. There's very few clouds in the sky, and unfortunately all the clouds that are in the sky are over there, but I want to be shooting over here. So by my prediction, I guess you could say, I think the sun's gonna light up this rock nicely. It's starting to do it right now. When the sun sets a little lower, the light will hopefully be a little more diffused by the clouds, and hopefully we get some good light tonight, regardless of the limited clouds that are actually in the sky. Some really bad news actually. The sun looks like it's going to drop right behind this rock, blocking all the light on this rock. If I want to expose this properly, the sky is going to be really blown out. Now that is kind of a punch below the belt. Definitely looks nice. A little too blown out in the back though. So right here we got a little bit of driftwood, and then we got a nice V formation from the rocks just naturally happening here. And then of course the nice shape of the rock kind of makes somewhat of a makeshift diamond. Well, getting a little darker down here. Nothing magical in the terms of light, but yeah, trying to make it work. This is actually the back side of what I was shooting earlier. Unfortunately, I moved a buoy out of the way, and it jumped back into my frame, floating around or bobbing around. So I'm moving on from that location. If we look here, we got this really nice rock, but this cliff and bluff is way too close, and then there's a huge gap over there. This particular rock right here is really interesting, except it's a little far out, and I don't want to get too close to it because the water's pulling every which way here. So gotta figure something out here. I'm just trying to capture this last frame here, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day. Really tough getting the water to come to where I want it and time the shutter. When the wave kind of bounces off the rock and comes this way, it creates a really nice effect. Well, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Getting a little dark. Time to pack it up and I guess head back to the van. I am back in the bus. I think I found myself a place to park for the night. Tomorrow morning, hopefully get up at a reasonable hour, and I'm not really sure what my plan is yet. I'm either gonna head down the highway and hunt out a view of Mount Fuji, or I'm gonna stick around here because there's a little small town that I passed through that I would like to take some photos in. So I think I'll wait until the morning just to see how I'm feeling, or figure it out a little later tonight. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish cleaning my camera and then get some sleep. Weather's not looking too good here. It's about 5 a.m. but basically just as I was driving by this spot, I remembered that I actually wanted to try and shoot here, at least the very least fly the drone over, because I don't know, I just found all the different houses and the different color rooftops to look really interesting, and hopefully it makes a cool shot. Well, I'm just locking everything down for the ride home, which means that's the end of this trip. It was nice to get that little drone flight in there and check out all the houses from above and take a few photos. I don't really expect anything too special from that. Hopefully I'll make it back here and get some better light at another point. So thanks again for watching. I had the Explorer 35 large DSLR core unit. I was also packing a Panel Wrap 100. And we will see you next time. Take care.